This is not something that I do. I'm not like a YouTuber or anything, but I had my life changed yesterday, and there's just some things put on my heart that I feel like I have to say and to share, so I'm here. Yesterday I had to say goodbye to a relationship of 4 years long, and you know what? I just feel so much at peace, and there's a reason for that I just felt like I needed to talk about it so that it could help whoever else is going through anything like this. I have experienced heartbreak before where I am beside myself and sobbing for weeks, and had to have my dad there beside me holding me till I fell asleep and felt like I just wanted to die. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to the amount of pain and pit in your stomach that you feel, and just the pure fear of not knowing what is going to come after this, and the difficultness of letting go of a person that your soul feels attached to. I can tell you that this relationship that ended yesterday meant so much more than any of those other relationships, and instead I feel okay. I have been with this person since my very first day of college. They have been my number one best friend here. I met them before I met any of my other friends here. They're my best friend in the world. I go to school 5 hours from my home, and they have been my number one support system and rock through everything. And I really don't know what life is like without them here. I'm in my master's year now. It's the hardest season of my life in terms of the amount of classes I take, the amount I've worked, and honestly, I don't really have time to go through heartbreak on top of everything, but I'm feeling okay, and I'm feeling at peace. And I woke up today early, and I was able to put on makeup and eat a breakfast and go to church and just feel so blessed. And that wasn't because I need to get out of this relationship. I love this person so deeply, and I know how much they love me, and if anything, it's so much harder to end things when you are both so in love and you know that there's mostly goodness in it. But when things started getting hard, for honestly just things that were outside factors that aren't even controllable, like, what do we all do? We turn to God when we have nothing else to really, we've hit rock bottom and we don't know where else to go. I turned to God and I just asked for something, for direction, for signs, for help, and I just found so much answer. I can't even describe to you how much my life has been changed in the last few days. And before you judge this, because I'm just saying that God is the answer, and I'm not saying this whole list of things like eat kale, put on red lipstick, do your squats and you'll get over it. Like, sure, do all those things if you want, but they're not going to bring you healing. And this, I know, is the only way that you truly feel healed, because I've been through other times where I haven't just broke down and turned to Jesus and asked for help, and cannot explain only the peace and healing that God can give you. Let me just tell you about my story a little bit, because I'm not like a very dedicated poster child of like this Christian girl that already has had this strong foundation with God her whole life, and like obviously I'm just going to turn to God right away. I was raised in a non-denominational church from when I was in 6th grade through high school, and really felt strongly my relationship with God grow during that time. When I went to college, I didn't really pursue that relationship anymore like I should have. I backslid and lost every thing that I had built with God, and obviously my life showed that. Just because when you don't have strength and faith in this higher power, this creator that you know wants the absolute best for you and has a greater plan, you're basically just walking through life blind and guessing. It just leads you on the path you're not meant to be on. So in the last year, my boyfriend and I really tried to get back on our path with God. Like, we craved it, we missed it. And as we were on our journeys, much as we wanted God to be the center, it felt like it was becoming more clear that we shouldn't be together right now, even through the good times, even through how much we loved each other. And so that was confusing. In the last few days, I felt closer to God than I have in years, and it's because I was so desperate. I was asking for an answer. I looked for something. The thing is that God is so cool and loving that he doesn't control what we do. He gives us free will in everything we do, and that means free will and choosing who we love. And you could be in a relationship with someone that you should never have been with. Obviously, that's what breakups are, is that you weren't meant to be with that person. Besides not meaning to be with that person, maybe something that's even more terrifying is that you do encounter your person somehow, the person that is your soulmate, the person you should be with for life, and you're not ready for them. You have no sort of preparation for being successful in that relationship. You're not equipped with what God wants you to know to have a healthy, lifelong relationship with that person. So right now, I'm in pain and I'm hurting, and I cried and cried and cried countless times this week. I don't even think I can cry anymore, but I'm okay. I can say that so confidently, is that I am so okay, and I don't feel any sort of anxiety or worry or fear. It hurts missing this person. It hurts not knowing if I'm ever going to see them again when I have had them by my side for 4 years. It hurts to want them to be the one for me and not know if that's what God has planned for me. But the thing is that when you think of God's greater picture and you think about the fact that he has the best intentions for you, that every single thing that he could create for you is greater than anything that you can imagine, exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or even think of, like, how could you not accept that the situation you're in now, the heartbreak, is there? It's for a reason. It has to be. It's not just to cause you pain. It's because God has something even greater than you can even picture right now. Even knowing that and what that has been doing to get me through all of this, I mean, last night I went to bed and I started having panic set in. Like, what am I going to do? I don't know myself without this person. I don't. To not see a face that I've looked at with love for so long is unfathomable. And just when I started thinking these thoughts right as I was laying my head down to go to bed, right away I felt something on my heart that couldn't have just been from me, because it came so quick, and it was something that I repeated until I fell asleep in my head, and it said, "Stay strong now so you'll have your promise forever." Stay strong now in this very temporary pain so that you will have your promise and your happiness and everything that was meant for you for a lifetime and for eternity. And when you think about it like that, it's like it becomes so much easier, because imagine it like this. It would be like you really, really wanted something, whatever you wanted at the time. I don't know, a new purse, whatever you desire. Here is $100 to go get that thing. And you can take it today. Your want is over. Or you can just wait a little bit, be patient, and win the lottery. But it's not going to come when you know it. You're not going to know when it's going to come. And I can't promise you that it's going to be really soon, but I can promise you that it's going to be great. What would you choose in that situation? You're not going to choose the temporary, instant gratification, fulfilling an emotion when you have this tremendous, powerful, greater promise. If that's just with money, think about it with something as important as your purpose and your life and your love. I thought about waiting to make this video just because it's so soon, since it just happened a day ago. But I didn't want to, because I feel like when you look at breakup videos or you turn to anything when you're in pain, it's either people very emotional because they've just gone through it, or it's been a little bit and they're fine now. They're able to reflect on it and maybe they're giving some advice. I think it's so important to document this process as it's happening, especially with just how I'm feeling, and knowing that by God's grace and God's love and God's healing only, just the very day after, I'm able to feel okay and loved and at peace. I remember years ago, Sadie Robertson, who is like around my age, like 22 or 23, and goes around at conferences and preaches. She experienced a breakup and she posted this video, and I watched it at the time, and she just was so positive and okay and strong, and just giving this message, loving God and having respect for this other person and not being bound by bitterness. And it really stuck with me, because it's something you rarely see. To see so much light out of someone going through something that we all know is so painful. And it stuck with me for years. It's something I've never forgot about. And I want to be here and be that person for someone else too, because I get it now. I get why she was able to do it. I didn't get it at the time when I was going through my other breakup, when I was really angry at God, when I was really angry at the situation and couldn't understand, even being 17, 18, why this pain had to happen. It's like, no, don't you think that God has something greater for you? Don't you think that this is exactly where you should be right now? And here's the other thing, is that you hear people talking about God's perfect timing, and you might not be able to see it right now, but it is his perfect timing. And I know for me, I've been dedicating so much to this 4-year relationship through my entire college experience so far. And I'm getting to this point where in 7 months I'm graduating with my master's. I'm going to be applying for my first job. I have to figure out where I'm going to live and what I am going to pour in my heart and energy into. And all I could see for this entire 4 years was getting to the end so I could be with my person, so I could start a life with this person. Earlier in the week, I was saying how this was a sick joke, that, we've been together for my entire college experience, and I have had this plan, and we are supposed to move in together, and we are supposed to start our lives and finally not have to do long distance anymore, which we were doing for the past year. But it's not a sick joke. It's literally a blessing from God to be like, hey, I know you better than you know you, and I know what your heart desires, and I know how important it is for you to one day have a really healthy marriage and a really happy life, and for the one time you get married to be it. And I know how important it is and how much you want me to be at the center of your relationship, and I know that you guys were trying, but it's just not working, and there's just some things that you need to go through first. You are a light, and you are potential, and you have a purpose. But if you are putting all of your energy into another person and you are just entirely consumed by the relationship, whether it's good love or not, you are left no room for your purpose. You're left no room for yourself. And you will never be fulfilled, because we're not meant to seek after other people. We're meant to seek after God and our purpose on this earth. He's a creator and we're here for a reason. But you have to be all the way filled up before you even meet your person. I have gotten into every relationship seeking comfort and happiness and security and healing, and I'm sure so many other people have. And when you do that with another person, it's never going to be enough, because no person is meant to give that all to you. You have to have and know your own identity, defined by God and what you know about yourself, and you can't let anyone else define that for you, or you're just never going to feel whole. It's going to cause issues, and that was part of my problem. I haven't always been like this. Like we said, just entire trust and faith in God, which is something that I used to have and always wanted, just finally clicked with me through going through all this, through asking and seeking answer through him. And I don't know his whole plan, but at least it makes sense to me. Okay, at least the situation that I'm in, this pain that I have to go through, it makes sense. When I was trying to figure all of this out, I found this series that I truly believe was shown to me. It's called Relationship Goals by Pastor Mike at Transformation Church. I've never seen them before, but they're all on YouTube. And there's an 8-part series. I've only watched 3 of them so far. Watched them all twice. And I promise you, every single one is life-changing. Every single one is exactly what everyone should hear, no matter what situation they're in right now. You need to be equipped with these things. I was looking at my situation like, I'm loving the best I can. If this isn't enough, then it's never going to be enough. And it's not me, it's them. They have to figure out their issues, and then we'll be fine. And I've literally been enlightened with this whole new world of what it means to get into a relationship. So I am begging you to please go and find that and watch that, and just take everything you can from it. There are things that you need to be before you even meet your person. There are things that you need to learn in your singleness before you can have a person. I haven't been single since before I was 16 years old, because I jumped from one relationship to another with literally no time in between. And God is telling me everything I need to know and learn in that time, in this season now. What you're going through and what I'm going through isn't meant to punish you or just cause you pain. It's not only an opportunity, but it is a blessing from God, and I promise you that. I promise you that this is a blessing, and you just can't see it yet. You might be in a relationship right now that you were never ready for, that you never were prepared through the things that you need to learn from God to be in. You might be in a relationship right now that God never meant for you and has such greater things planned for you, or you're just going through the ending of those. And just please know that through what he has to tell you and through prayer, you are going to feel peace, and you are going to see in your life why all of this had to happen one day. You might be in a relationship with a person that you think is your soulmate, and I might have been in a relationship with a person that could be my soulmate too. I don't know yet. I'm not gonna know. But I know that this relationship is ended after 4 years, because if somewhere down the line, after all of this growth, I do end up back with the same person, I won't be the same. He won't be the same. He's doing exactly what I'm doing through all of this. it will be the start of something new, the start of something blessed by God, with God at the center. And that's what's the most exciting. I don't know who I am right now. I don't know who I am apart from the person that I have loved for 4 years. But I just know where I'm meant to be right now is to serve God, to find self-love, to self-discover who I am, and to give myself the self-care I need to get it through it all. So God knows you, He sees you, He's there for you through all of the hurting. He will bring peace. And I just hope that you know that, and don't just think that I'm trying to push this on you, because I'm truly so just excited that I know I can get through this because I've turned to God instead of everything else I've turned to before. This is going to be an entire journey for me. Going through all of this, I know I'm going to come out a different person, a stronger person, and I want to not only see the progress for myself, but to have it out there for whoever else finds it and maybe needs it, to know what the love and grace of God can do to someone. And so if even one person finds this and is helped by it and realizes why they have to go through the heartbreak they're in and where the peace is going to come from, then that's enough. Right now, I'm 22 years old. I am so young. It is my time to prepare myself for whoever is the one I'm going to love and dedicate my life to, but to learn for the first time how to fill up myself for the love of God and my purpose through that before I am entirely consumed by just another person. Know your worth. Know you are blessed. Know you are loved. Know that this is so temporary. And know that staying strong now means a greater promise for forever. So I hope that this helped somebody. And I hope I said everything I needed to say. But I have a whole process and a whole journey I want to document. So thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you again.